Peace and power. We are here with the family of David Lozano. They are seeking justice for their family member, and so we are going to get into the story. You're here with the People's New Black Panther Party, and so we would like to thank y'all, first of all, for inviting us into your lovely home. And we would like to get y'all story out, and we would like to get justice for your family. So we're gonna go ahead and let them begin and speak about exactly what happened with their brother and their son and their loved one. David was also a activist in the community as well, and we want to do what's right and help this family get justice. Also, what we'll be speaking about as well during this interview, we'll be speaking on the misbehavings of a Mr. QuannellX, who we all know very well in this community. So they've had some dealings with Mr. Cornell as well that didn't go very well, and so we'll get into both of those. So go ahead, if y'all want to introduce yourself, that's fine.
Oh, hi, I'm Jessica. I guess I'm David's niece, sister, and we miss him. He was taken entirely too soon, and we were taken advantage of by Cornell.
My name is Maria. His older sister, one of them, Maria Galvan. We do miss him. And we were naive getting someone that actually didn't help us at all, and that was Cornell. We needed someone at the time, and he didn't come through. We paid him, he didn't come through.
In full cash.
And nothing has happened.
I am Rose Garcia, David's oldest sister. I'm the one that tries to keep everything together, and it's been very hard, and I leaned on my daughter. We found Cornell. Again, he did not do anything right for us. He just fed us what we needed to hear and took our money, and after that, we didn't hear from him. And this is my mother, Florentina Lozano, which is David Lozano's mother. David Lozano was our baby brother, but he's our baby brother in heaven. And we just want justice for him. We don't know what else to do. We've spoken with not lawyers, but the district attorneys, and we feel that they're really not on top of it. The judges are really not on top of it, and we are lost. My daughter found the new Black Panther Party while out eating. Mm-hmm. So we think that is a blessing because they were able to cross paths, and my daughter asked them, for help, and what do they do, and they immediately helped us. They're not here to ask for money. They're not here because they want to get something out of it. They're here to genuinely help us. David's children have been going through a lot. My mother and ourselves, we've been going through a lot, and we already had a lot of doors slammed, and this is a new door that has opened for us, and we appreciate it. But through the whole ordeal, the children of David Lozano are the ones that rehatch. Every time we talk about it, they live it. They live it because they were there when my brother got shot. And I believe Omar Hernandez should go to jail because he killed him. He didn't just self-defense or anything. He actually had it out for him already, and he did it this time.
Yeah, something else about this, what we've discovered is this guy Omar was giving a $50,000 bond for aggravated assault first, which turned into a murder charge later on, and the bond continued to stay at $50,000. So this happened in 2019, correct?
Yes.
And he's a free man today, walking around, eating, drinking, enjoying himself, continuing to brandish weapons, so on and so forth. So we'll get into a little of what happened on that particular day. So does anybody want to talk about what actually happened during that time with David? And we could just go over it briefly. It doesn't have to be long. Anybody can do it, just from your knowledge.
Just brief.
Breathe, baby.
I'm Marisa Lozano, David Lozano's middle child. I am the second oldest. Basically, November 3rd, 2019, it was my dad's weekend. He was bringing us back home to our mother's house. Omar had created a rule that whatever my dad bought us, we were not allowed to wear to his home. When we were sent to our dad's house, my mom did not give my brother a jacket, and it was cold in November. So my dad had bought him a new jacket, and my brother had worn it home. And when Omar saw that he was wearing the jacket, Omar proceeded to follow him into the house and tell him basically that he wasn't worth anything, that he needed to be picked up, that I needed to be picked up, that we didn't deserve to be in the house. He gave Wendy the ultimatum, either it was going to be him or her kids, which was us. And then he came into the room and he began to harass my brother. He made him undress into his basketball shorts and Nike socks. He wasn't wearing shoes, a jacket. And then after Omar continued to harass my brother, Wendy had pulled him out of the room and told him that she didn't want him involved with the cops, that he needed to stop. So my brother and I, we did call my dad back to the house. When he came to pick us up, Wendy did go outside. She did return my brother's clothes to our dad. And they just exchanged words. Nobody was arguing, no one was yelling, no voices were raised or anything. Me and my brother were still inside of the house. We didn't know where Omar was at the time. My brother did ask me to walk him outside of the house because he was afraid that Omar was going to try to hit him if he walked out by himself. So I escorted my brother out the house, but as I was taking him out of the house, he did see, well, Omar did see that my brother was going to the truck. He also saw that I was going to the truck. So Omar proceeded to follow my little brother. And as he followed him, my brother entered the truck behind my dad. So he entered through the driver's side back seat. He sat behind my dad during the whole argument. So basically when my brother got into the truck, I was finally at the passenger side window. Wendy was behind me and behind her was Omar. So we're in a line of three. As soon as Omar hits the truck, I can hear him from behind me. He starts threatening my dad. He tells him that he'll kill him. He'll kill me and my siblings. He'll kill my grandma and my family because he knows where we live and he's not afraid to. He tells my dad he needs to get out the truck and handle his business and handle what he started. And the whole time my dad doesn't throw back any kind of violent remarks. He doesn't throw back any threats or anything. He kind of just says, you know what, if you're saying you know where they live and you know what you need to do, then go ahead and do it. But never once was anything said on my dad's part that was anything negative or threatening to Omar or any of his family or friends. So as they continued to exchange words, my dad, he scooted up in the truck one time as he proceeded to kind of leave. But he did stop to respond back to Omar. He proceeded to do that another time. And then on the third time, I felt Wendy grab my left arm and she pulled me to the back of the truck. That's when Omar stepped up to the truck and he shot my dad 2 times. He was, I want to say, about this far from shooting my brother in his head because of how close my brother was to my dad. He did shoot 2 times into the truck. The first bullet hit his right hand. It went through his thumb, shattered his thumb, and it landed in his left lower stomach. The second bullet went through his right arm and landed in his left chest cavity. After he was shot, my dad did pull off to a Shipley's down the street with my brother in the back seat. Omar proceeded to put the gun back in his holster and he did walk back into the house. Wendy did follow him. She left me in the street yelling for my dad. In a panic, I began to call my little brother on his phone. He didn't answer me, so I called my dad's phone. When my dad's phone rang, I want to say the second ring, my brother did pick up the phone. I could just hear him on the phone with 911. Finally, after I told my brother to stay calm, that I'm going to go get him, that he's going to be okay, that our dad is going to be okay, I ran 2 streets down, and at the 3rd street, a woman did stop and she helped me. She took me to my dad. When I got to my dad, my brother was still in the back seat of the truck. I proceeded to pull on the driver's side door. It didn't open. My brother unlocked the door for me. When I finally saw my dad, his head was rested on the headrest. His face was white. He was sweating bullets, and he was just telling me, like, I can't move, mama. I can't breathe. That he was sorry that everything happened. I just told him, like, you know what, it's okay. Like, I'm sorry that it happened. I proceeded to take off the belt that I was wearing. I wrapped it around his arm to try to stop the bleeding in his right arm. One of the women that had stopped to give us help, she did pass me a flannel shirt. asked him if he could hold it on his stomach for me. He told me that he wasn't able to, that he couldn't move his right arm. I told him it was okay. I held the shirt on his stomach until the ambulance was able to get me away from him. They did put him in the ambulance and they took him. My brother stayed where he was, and again, after Omar made him strip down, my brother was outside. It was cold. He was only wearing basketball shorts and socks. And then after they took my dad, the cops proceeded to arrest my brother and I. They did tell us that we were assets to the crime that happened, and that's why we were being arrested. We were held, I want to say, for a good 4 hours before we were questioned and released to our mom.
And so later on, your father stayed in the hospital for how long exactly?
Yes, sir. So the incident, well, really,
I think for 2 days or 3, right?
yes, sir. So it was November 3rd that he was shot, and then November 6th at 6:27 a.m. in the morning, he was pronounced dead in the hospital. My brother and I watched him get shot, and my oldest sister watched him die.
So, to this day, there has been absolutely no media coverage at all, and this happened in 2019. So the family, being desperate for help, reached out to QuannellX, to try to get some help. So we'll let the family who reached out speak about, what happened with that. And so how did that all begin? How did y'all get in touch with Cornell?
So after the passing of David, at that particular time, you would see him on TV quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And, I talked to my mom and I talked to my aunt and, and I asked him, I said, well, we're going to reach out. We need help. We need, media coverage. Cornell was quick. When I mean quick to answer that phone call. It was the very next day we met him at Starbucks, and he promised that we were going to have media coverage. He promised that we were going to do an interview with Fox 26 News. He promised that we were going to all get together at court dates. We were all going to show up together, show unity, and nothing has ever been done. And as it proceeded to progress, every time I try to reach out to Mr. Quannell, I'd always get, I'm in court. I'll call you back. I'm not available. I'll have to get back to you. And as of yet, nothing has been done. But he was paid in full. And we met him at Starbucks, and he did not do what he said he was going to do. He actually took advantage of us, not just me, but my entire family. In the lowest time that we had to deal, he just took advantage of us. He looked at us as prey. And that's exactly how we got treated.
Mm-hmm.
So something else that we've discovered throughout this process is that the family actually tried to, do things. They wanted to put flyers out, so on and so forth. And the DA in the case were basically telling them, don't do these things because it was going to hurt their case, which we all know them putting flyers out about Omar, being a murderer. Is not going to affect the case in any kind of manner at all whatsoever. You're actually alerting the community that they have a murderer living in their midst, and everybody around this man is dangerous. So the DAs seemed like they were trying to sweep this up under the rug, basically. And this lady here, what's your name again? Maria. Miss Maria, she had some dealings with a particular sister that is in the DA's office, who basically told her she was going to drop the murder charges. So
right there and then, I never heard her name. Didn't know who she was. She just said she wanted to meet up with us. Made an appointment. We sat there, and all she was able to tell us is we're dropping the case because we can't go forward due to the reason that it's self-defense. Of course, we argue it. We got mad, and she doesn't know that there's different statuses. And I told her there is a status between two Mexicans. One status is that he's military, and the other one that he was appointed like a gangster or something. So my thing is that this woman even hurt us even more because she was saying she was going to drop the case. It was just ugly. It was a hurt that she just
took it personal. She
Yes.
didn't want her name out there
We gotta call it what it is. No, the fact is she didn't want it on her record.
She didn't.
She didn't
said
want a
she's-
loss.
That's
or-
what
That's
she
right.
said.
She didn't want
That's
a
what
loss.
She didn't want it on her record. And that may be the case, but the fact of the matter is, if you're a DA, you're charged with the duty, and it's your duty to perform what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct. What was her name again?
Tanisha Manning.
Tanisha Manning.
Yes.
All right. So Cornell promised you all these things. He promised you TV coverage
Correct.
to help get the word out, which is always helpful. When you're dealing with matters of this magnitude, to let the community know what's going on. And he promised this family the world, and he came and took $2,500 from this family. You'll see him come around with his entourage when he's on TV, but none of these people are with him when he's collecting money. And I assume he was by himself when he
You're
collected
yes.
money.
absolutely correct.
Yes,
By
by
himself.
himself. And the worst part is when we were talking to him and everything, he came up to my nephew at the time was
He came up
13?
To all
13,
of
no,
us.
but especially I remember with DJ.
To my
Oh,
brother.
you're gonna be a good football player.
When we
Condescending.
began to
Now
speak
it's
about what
condescending.
had happened to our dad, he kind of inched his way closer to us. And then when he finished speaking to me and he told me, like, we're going to get him, we're going to defend your
Yeah,
dad, we're going to
yeah.
make sure we get this through the court, he inched over to my brother. And then
He's a
when he
good
saw
manipulator.
that my brother was kind of getting into a mood, like starting to go down, starting to get sad, he kind of inched him towards the conversation of football and kind of patting his back, like, come on, you're going to be a good lineman, like, you're going to do this, we're going to get you on my team, we're going to take you on trips, you're going to get in the game, you're going to be good, you're going to do what your dad wanted you to do, because he did use my dad as an example when it came to football.
Yes.
So he was kind of putting himself in place to benefit himself, but not to benefit our family, because he didn't do anything for us. The last time I saw him was the first time I met him, and other than
That's
that, the
true.
times that I did see him was when my brother was playing football for his team.
Mhm.
So he actually took your little brother and put him on the football team. CornellX took your little brother, put him on the football team.
No, it wasn't Cornell.
Who was it?
Someone reached out to DJ and DJ, this so and so. It was Hilton, the furniture guy. He was in there, and so was Cornell. But I don't know exactly in my head who reached out to DJ, and DJ told me, I go, okay, yeah, you like football, let's get you in there. Did everything. But I'm like, but Cornell really didn't like
And when
help him in that football stuff. I would have to push, I would have to say. And DJ at one moment he helps more the ones that have been there or his son.
Okay. So y'all
Then
just
again,
saw him.
another use.
So y'all just saw him that one time, and y'all didn't see him anymore after
Well, just in the football
No, as
area.
As
Well, not her.
regarding me, the one who contacted him, one time
that. One time
at the Starbucks
to get the money,
to get the money.
and that was it.
Haven't seen him ever since.
So when you would call him or text him, what would he say?
I'm in court.
Mhm.
I'll get back to you. My favorite. Give me 30 minutes.
Give me 30 minutes.
Give me 30 minutes.
Okay. And so in this case, what we also found out is that he's typical CornellX fashion. His MO is to have you fill out a contract.
The yellow
Yes,
one
Yeah.
at Starbucks.
Yeah, the contract states that if he hasn't heard from you in 30 days, the contract becomes null and void. So what we have seen in most cases is
It's null
that
and void.
once he gets that money, he cuts his phone off, doesn't answer calls after a while. Now, if you're gonna give him some more money,
And he won't.
he'll
come back.
show up again. Yeah, he'll come back again. But once the money is gone, he's pretty much in the wind, and he's off to the next story, and he just goes and capitalizes on the next family.
Yeah, because the fact of the matter is, we had our conversation, we had our discussion with him at the Starbucks, and then like 2 weeks later, he's in the news with somebody else.
Right.
But us,
Nothing.
nothing. Nothing.
So, we would like to rid the community of all tyrants. And, to the best of our knowledge, he is a tyrant in this community and hurting this community. And, what we are starting to see, we all know who he works with and who he works for. And what we are starting to see is the DA's office is actually using Cornell to sweep these cases up under the rug, because this definitely should have received media attention. No one even knows that this case exists right now.
Yeah.
This guy supposed to be Omar, is supposed to be some kind of decorated soldier. And so this is going to be something that is used in the courtroom in order to defend him from murder. But we think without a shadow of a doubt that he is going to jail for this matter. And the People's New Black Panther Party will be here with this family, standing by their side throughout the entire process without charging any money at all whatsoever, because we're activists and that's what activists do. So we hate that this happened to you. We honestly hate that this happened to you, but we're going to do our best to get the word out and to bring justice, and we will be there, I guarantee, along this walk with y'all while y'all taking this journey. This is not an easy journey for families to go through, and I think it is absolutely awful for someone to come in and prey on families who are going through things like this. I mean, how this man sleeps at night, you know, knowing what he does. You know, it's two evils that's been created here. You have a family who has lost a loved one, and all they are doing is looking for help to try to get the word out. And they turn to someone who is a media mogul. You know, they see him on TV, so you don't think in your mind that someone who's on TV would actually do this to you. And so that's where he gets the trust from the community. Everybody trusts him because they see him on TV.
That's right.
But we ask, you know, please do not put your trust in this man. If he doesn't ask you for money, then what he is doing is he wants to appear on TV with you just to continue to get his face, you know, out on TV, you know, so he can get the next story. Because like I said, it's a trust between the community. The police knows what he does. The DA's office knows exactly what he does.
I can't believe it.
We even tried to get charges filed on him for consumer fraud, because this is consumer fraud.
Yes.
He is running a business, giving contracting somebody out. That's running a business and committing fraud because you are lying to people. And nobody does anything about this guy at all whatsoever.
No.
And he'll tell you he's a lawyer. He's not a lawyer.
He's not a lawyer.
He's not a lawyer.
He's not a lawyer.
I go, don't believe this man. Just don't.
Do not
don't
believe
him.
him. And if he promises the Fox 26 news appearances, because we got promised that hasn't happened. We got promised media coverage at the courthouses when it was time for court. Nothing happened. I mean, everything that he promised, as of yet, nothing has happened. Nothing.
Didn't set up a phone call.
Nothing.
No meetings with the DA.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing at all. So
Nothing.
just took your money and have you asked him for a refund?
He don't even. He doesn't even respond anymore.
So he won't even return.
You did. I remember you did, and he said no.
He don't respond.
Oh, okay.
He don't respond. There's no response anymore.
Right. And in the meantime, the case is still there.
The case is still
hasn't
going.
even, it's been what, how many years?
Going on 3 years.
Going on 3 years. No
This
word
November.
from him.
None. Not even a simple hey, how's everything going? Not even that. I mean, you took our money. You could at least ask us how we're doing.
Exactly.
No, not even that. Not even that.
And something else that we've seen is very disturbing is how he comes into these families' homes or into the children's lives,
Yes.
you know, who are suffering.
Yes.
You know, trying to get next to these children.
That's exactly.
I mean, it's something that's just dark about that. You know, to come in and prey on the children when the children are suffering because they've lost their dad, they've lost their grandfather or something to that magnitude. And he comes in and befriends the children and tell them everything is going to be okay and he going to fix everything. And it's an absolute lie at the end of the day. It's just a farce. It's a stunt. He's just out here hoodwinking everybody. How he continues to get away with it, we know how he gets away with it because he is supported by this very same system that is actually causing the harm to us. The DA's office with Kim Ogg, the consumer fraud department down with the DA, they're aware of all these things that he does, but they let him explain these type of things away on a simple phone call with him. You know, they don't take in any evidence, even though you have evidence of fraud being committed. They continue to let him operate in this city, and we would like to bring an end to that. And so we would
And
like
the
to.
people need to know what he's doing.
They do, and they need to speak up.
Yep.
Don't be scared to speak up.
Speak up. It just like he needs to be put out there. Omar Hernandez needs
He
to
needs
be put
to,
out there
yes.
that he has had no publicity, and people need to know.
Yeah.
People need to know.
Omar, you getting ready to go to jail. You know, you got a court date coming up, 1st-degree murder on a 50, and that's another thing I don't know if we spoke about. I think we may have touched on it, but we could speak on it again. 1st-degree murder, a $50,000 bond, and it's going on in Harris County every single day.
Yep.
You know, we've seen this time and time again down with the office of Kim Ogg, that she is just letting murderers enjoy themselves after they have taken away people, loved ones from them. They are still able to walk around, be merry, enjoy their lives. Court dates get pushed back, pushed back, pushed back. You put these families' justice on hold, and it's just not fair. And we would like to bring about a change. So, Kim Ogg, if you are not the DA in order to get the job done, then it's probably time for you to move on and do something different with your life. Because here in Harris County and in Houston, Texas, we want a DA who is going to prosecute right and wrong regardless of who it is, whether it be a police officer, whether it be a veteran in the military. Death, murder is not something that you can get away with. And so we will be there seeking justice for this family. And if anybody want to add anything before we go, that will be fine.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Most definitely. We thank
you for
y'all.
coming in our path
Most definitely.
and getting this out.
Well,
Yes,
we give all glory, you know, to the universe, to the Most High,
that's right.
you know, for bringing us together, because it was just by chance that we were able to meet this family. If we were not in the place we were and we met this lady and she had the courage to come up and speak to us, most people are intimidated and won't say anything, like we the black KKK, you know, which we are not. We love people. We even have a white lawyer, okay?
That's
So
wonderful.
we love people. You know, we love good people and we hate bad people,
That's
regardless
right.
of what color you are.
That's right.
All right?
That's right.
So if that's it, we'll go ahead and wrap it up, and then, you know, now the fight and the works begin. So if anybody needs to get in contact with us, you can contact us at the People's New Black Panther Party. We're also on Facebook as well at the People's New Black Panther Party Houston. You can give me a call personally. I am the national chairman of the organization. I can be reached at 832-294-8922. And there is no charge for our service. And if anybody tries to charge you money for a service, please contact us and let us know exactly what's going on. And we will do our due diligence in order to be there for you and for our community, because we are a community-based organization. And at the end of the day, we want what's right. And there are power in numbers.
Yes.
You know, wisdom teaches us that strength comes in numbers.
Right.
The DA's office, the police department, they want families to come in alone, you know, afraid,
Yes.
you know, like the enemy coming in and try to separate you and conquer, you know, divide and conquer. But we are stronger together, and we're gonna
Yes.
stand together. So we have met this family. We're probably gonna be lifelong friends.
I believe so.
Yes.
I do believe so. These are some good people who want what's right, and they want to get involved in the community.
Yes.
You know, don't be that family where something has to happen in order for you to get involved in this struggle.
That's right.
We can all come together, brown, black, white, and let's just do what's right. Let's get politically conscious about what's going on, because there are laws on the books that let people get away with these things. And all we do is vote Republican and vote Democrat, and we don't understand politics at all whatsoever. We are a political organization for a reason, and we are one of the most feared organizations because of our political consciousness. We understand politics very well, and we want to teach others what politics are all about. There are laws on the books that allow these types of things to happen, and this needs to be changed immediately.
Yes, it
How
does.
first-degree murder of $50,000? Didn't it used to be $1 million bond for first-degree murder? You didn't see the light of day. Didn't it used to be life without the possibility of parole for first-degree murder? Now they are giving murderers who premeditate these murders, who actually think it out and plan it, 30 years in jail. why a family has to suffer for the entirety. Their children have to grow up without fathers, and it's just not right. And we just want what's right at the end of the day.
Yes.
So we're standing strong. We're standing in solidarity with this family. And if anybody want to join in with us, to help,
We would appreciate
We
it.
really
Definitely.
would.
Yes.
We would
'Cause
appreciate
we
any
really
help.
need help.
We do.
Because our district attorneys just keep rotating every so many months, they say, or every year they say, well, we got to get a new one. So they have to start with the case again. They have to have time to go over the
Right.
case. And that to us is a put off. It's just a
Well, not
put off.
only that, it's traumatic for the children that have to sit
And they
here
have
and
to go over and
retell
over.
and relive the story. They lived it. They were in the presence of my brother when Omar shot him. They lived it. They've seen it. Me and Michaela watched David take his last breath as they were working on him, as they were trying to call everybody in there. Me and Michaela sit there and we watched him take his last breath. Yet Omar is still
Breathing.
walking around free, enjoying every holiday.
And no monitor.
No monitor.
Because I know he don't have a monitor. They keep taking it off of him.
And the district's attorneys keep telling us to be quiet. Don't put nothing
Oh,
on
yes.
the media. Don't do this. Well, we're tired of that.
We're
And
tired.
I'm so glad we found the new Black Panther Party because they're really, really out here to help us.
Absolutely.
District attorneys, be ready.
Yes.
Because we're tired. We're
They,
tired.
they know us well. They know us down there. We'll be giving them a call. You'll be getting a call about this one tomorrow morning, as a matter of fact. So I think that's good enough. I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up. We thank y'all for inviting us into y'all home. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and get to work now. This is where the work begins.